Hi everybody, Kyle Austin, MLive.com here at the Xfinity Center in College Park after Michigan State's 74-68 win over Maryland. Going to focus on the basketball game today. Obviously, a lot of other things going on regarding sexual assault allegations. We have all that coverage on MLive.com. But as far as what happened on the court behind me, my three big takeaways. Takeaway number one, I know Maryland isn't as good this year as it has been this past year, but I still think this was a really key road win for this team for a couple reasons. Number one, this team has not been very good on the road, and it's kind of starting to find its own. It struggled against Rutgers in its first one, big loss at Ohio State. And this group wasn't very good on the road last year. So, gets the win earlier at Illinois and today in what I think is one of the best road environments in the Big Ten, an underrated road environment in the Big Ten, probably the best student section in the Big Ten. They came out with a win. They came back from 13 down at halftime, and I think showed a lot more grit than we've seen. I think Cassius Winston said afterwards, we wouldn't have been able to make this comeback before. I think they've got the experience now to be able to do that, and I think that's an important step for this team. They've got, I think, 6 more road games after this. I mean, if they're going to catch Purdue, stay in this Big Ten title hunt, they're going to have to win games like this and tougher on the road. And I think today was an important step for Michigan State in that respect. Takeaway number two, you look at the box score from this one. Miles Bridges had 11 points. Nick Ward had 7, so that's 18 points from your top 2 scorers. And Michigan State comes out, scores 74 anyway, and wins. So this was more about guys that are typically a little bit more ancillary scoring, kind of stepping up and filling that load filling that scoring load when Miles Bridges really couldn't hit anything and Nick Ward was pretty much neutralized by them. Joshua Langford, only 6 of 15 shooting, but hit 7 free throws, finished with 19 points. Cassius Winston, really, he played 5 minutes in the first half. He had 2 fouls, he had 3 turnovers. Really a pretty horrendous half for him. But he comes back, seems to be able to put it all behind him after the halftime and scores 13 in the second half. And really, I thought, helped them when Michigan State really had nothing going on offense with Tum Tum Nairn in there in the first half. Cassius Winston really got it going. They went on, I think, a 22-4 run to start the second half. And that was big, and they did it despite their best players really not scoring a whole lot, which I think bodes well for them, obviously. And then takeaway number 3, something it feels like we haven't talked a whole lot about this year, is Michigan State's free throws. They finished 19 for 23 for the game. Of those 19 makes, 11 came in the last minute, and I think they only missed 1 in the last minute. I think they took 12 free throw attempts as Maryland tried to play the foul game and get back into it. Michigan State kept the door closed by making those free throws. Joshua Langford did a couple, Cassius Winston did, and Miles Bridges hit some. And, it's something we haven't talked about because, it hasn't been a problem, but at the same time, I think we need to acknowledge that this has been a significant issue for these teams, and teams have been able to get back into games late against Michigan State because Michigan State can't hit its free throws down the stretch. And this year's team, they put a lot of emphasis on it in the offseason, which we've heard before, but this year it seems to have the results. There have been a couple games like this where they've been rock solid down the stretch. And, you talk about the games they're going to have to win later. If they can continue to do that, it's one thing that Tommy Izzo most years is going to be worried about, but so far this year, it's something he doesn't have to worry about, and that's obviously good for them. That'll do it here from College Park, 74-68 win for Michigan State, and check with mlive.com/Spartans for all your coverage.